Well, hello there. We are here with the February rankings in our tier list here. I did everything and I am ready to talk about it. Took about a week, wasn't too long. Really took my time with everything. Could have done in like 4 or 5 days probably if I rushed it, but really took my time and I think that's fine. I'll probably take more notes as I go because it's kind of drag along in actual time from doing it to actually talking about it. So let's just get into it and we'll talk a bit more about it later. Let's start with the albums. The first one is Chastain with The Ruler of the Wasteland, released in somewhere in February. I don't think it was actually February, but that's fine. I don't have the exact date on the interwebs. Though since on Spotify it's on June, so I tend to not trust Spotify with things actually. So let's just ignore that. What is important is that I liked it. It was really nice. I love the Angel of Mercy. I love that track in general. Didn't really know where it was from for a while, but now I found out, and it's lovely. This lovely album, so great to see. Sadly, I don't feel like the rest of the album is as good as Angel of Mercy. Kind of overshadows it, but yeah, along with the Rural Wasteland title track, the Battle for Nevermore, which are kind of nice. Still a fine listen overall. So let's see where it goes. I think it's definitely a master, but surely in between here. And for the Angel of Mercy, probably on the top for now. I have to do this. So this seems like a good place for it. Top of the master for Chastain. The next one is the Gravediggers War Games, which sadly didn't work all that well for it, but it was for sure released in February at least, and from Germany. I wouldn't say anything is bad really, just kind of played very safely, very uninterestingly. I believe Gravedigger goes to some sound shifts after this album, so probably reached the end of the line of this particular style for them because just didn't really do anything. It was too safe, too formulaic. So I think this will be the first one in the apprentice rank. I think that's the most I can do for it. Wasn't actively bad, but yeah, didn't really hit it off with me. Well, yeah, had to use that ranking once for sure. Next we have King Diamond with Fatal Portrait, and it was released in Denmark on February the 17th. Actual date for once. And I liked the Gravedigger album. I did actively dislike it. So I really can't get into the vocals. They are actively off-putting to me. And everything rest that it has going on does not make up for them, and I don't really want to ever listen to anything from this album again. So sadly that should be our first novice as well. Really don't want to just come here on the earth to bash things, but hey, sometimes it won't be my thing. Unfortunately, for now at least. Moving on to the Manilla Road's The Deluge, which was released in the United States on the February 25th. Once again date, and once again didn't really like it, sadly. I don't really want to not like things, but yeah, it happens. The underlying stuff is pretty decent, it seems, but unfortunately, I really don't like how it sounds. The production is so weird. I don't even know how to describe it. Big letdown with the production, and I tend to value production a lot, actually. So, yeah, not actually good, but I think it's a least step up from the King Diamond, so we can do the Apprentice. I think the Gravedigger is a bit better, at least better in production, at least. So yeah, not good again, but hey, sometimes has to happen. The next one is Ozzy Osbourne's The Ultimate Sin, released in England February 22nd. And thankfully, we have the exact date, and thankfully, we have a good album. Osbourne to the rescue. I usually find something good on his album, at least one or two songs, and this was quite a few songs actually. I really like Killer of the Giants and The Ultimate Sin, the title track, but also Lightning Strikes and The Shot in the Dark were also really fun tracks. The guitar sounds just great, and at times it's kind of really atmospheric, kind of like early Black Sabbath. Maybe not, but at least there's some atmosphere to it, something more unique. So, Osman rescued us. I think we can at least give him a master for that, for saving us from some less than good albums, and definitely better than the Black Sabbath one, and I think it's also better than the Chastain one. So, top of the master for the Ozzy Osbourne. Sounds very good. Next up is Samhain, I think that's how it's pronounced. November Coming Fire. Released in the United States somewhere in February. I think it's in February for sure at least. And it's a nice shift in style from the albums we had so far. Very punkish. Bit of a horror theme here. Sadly not that great in the production area again, but what's actually underneath there is pretty fun. I especially like the tracks Let the Day Begin and The Kiss of Steel. Those are really fun. So, pretty nice addition. I really liked it. And I think we can give it a master at least. And this should be a good spot for it, I believe. Everything sounds okay, but the production, yeah, that's kind of problematic, so I don't think I can give it more than master. And following that is Whiplash's Power and Pain, also released somewhere in the United States and somewhere in February. I don't know the exact date again. And sadly, it combines kind of the worst elements of both thrash metal and speed metal, which is really unfortunate. I usually can find something good in both genres, but yeah, sometimes I have trouble with certain aspects, and it's really showcased here. Really cannot say that I like how anything sounds the album, so fortunately that will be another apprentice. And we can already see forming the rankings I prefer. When I like something, it's master. When I don't really enjoy it, it's apprentice. So that's kind of how it usually goes, yeah. Well, yeah, that's it. And now we come to Talk Talks, The Color of Spring, released in England, February 17th. Yay, exact date. Which is a very pleasant, if a bit melancholic piece of art pop. And I really like how it sounds. I really enjoy the album. It has very soft vocals, of course, very English vocals. And it kind of really flows nicely. And kind of refreshing, of course. And different from everything else we heard so far, pretty much this month and last month. And I really enjoyed I Don't Believe in You, lovely track. Also, Living in Another World was lovely. Give It Up was nice, and Time It's Time. Lovely songs about time always. Almost could have gone into the Grandmaster, but I think I'll leave it in the high master. First master probably is more than good enough. This is when I really like something, and this is when I just liked it a lot. No else to describe it, but yeah, master is enough. And then from Scotland on February the 10th we got Cocteau Twins Victoria Land, which is very dreamy and with a lot of ambience, and I usually really like that. Somehow didn't really hit it off with me this time, though it's a really nice album still. I especially like the song Lazy Calm and Fit Like Fins. Well, the biggest problem is that vocals only really occasionally work. They're kind of too much at times. And the other elements in the music are, as it often is with dream pop, very repetitive, but maybe too repetitive here. And when something works well, you don't even mind it hearing it repeat several times, but this was probably too much while not being that great. Still, kind of nice album. So I think we can give it a journeyman, and I think this last spot is fine. Probably. Yeah, probably good. So that's where we'll feel the Victoria land. Now, Janet Jackson's Control album here, released in the United States on the February 4th, something from the beginning of the month for once. Kind of similar sentiment like the last album. I see the good in it and I wanted to like it more, but it gonna gets to me occasionally. Amidst a lot of stuff that kind of just blends in together. It's, in comparison, it's a bit stronger vocally, but atmospherically doesn't really match. Just so doesn't really stand out in any way. Other than the He Doesn't Know I'm Alive and Fun You Have Time Flies When You're Having Fun. Those were nice tracks. Really like those, but yeah, didn't really grab me as all that special as I hoped it would be. Kind of has a better reputation than what I found. So I think it's a bit better. So I'll leave it here in Journeyman, just one spot ahead. Sounds good. And to wrap up the albums, all the albums for February we did, we have Swans and their album Greed, released in the United States February 28th. And man, they always do put the show on their albums, always sound very special. And sometimes it's really successful with me, sometimes isn't. Not so much this time, I believe, though the Fool and the Money Splash tracks are really nice. Doesn't really hit often other than in those tracks, but still fascinatingly unpredictable as always. And I think I can give it low expert in this case. And that's all our albums from this month. A bit too many misses for my taste, but at least it wasn't all bad. I found something to enjoy for sure, especially all the new master ones. Kind of a lot, but yeah, we really populated the lower end of the rankings this time. Oh yeah, not bad, at least. Too bad. So let's move on to the next segment. And that segment is films, and the first one is The Money Pit. I really enjoy this one now. Laughed a lot. Actually, feels like an anime rom-com in a Hollywood setting. The physical humor really got to me in a few scenes, especially when Tom Hanks' character drops down in the carpet. I nearly died that time. And we have Shelley Long from Cheers, so synergy already. Hey. Of course, Tom Hanks is amazing. That doesn't really need to be said at all. Other characters are complete caricatures of any kind of drop you can imagine, but still kind of effective when they all appear in the final scene, the wedding one. So yeah, really fun comedy and a fun situation to find yourself in, at least on the screen, not in your life at least. Well, kind of only thing that brings it down is melodramatic moments. I didn't really care for that too much. But I think we can easily at least top the master rank with it. I think that's okay for this one, because I really did enjoy it and went through it very quickly. Which is not too often with me. I usually takes a few sitting for me. But yeah, top of the master, I think it's good. I think it's more enjoyable than all of these so far. Yep. Now on to something a bit more serious. We have Salvador, released on February 28th, right at the end. Co-production of United States and United Kingdom. And of course, this depicts the Civil War in Salvador. And it's kind of really compelling when it depicts the effects of the war, effects of the US foreign policy. What brings it out a bit is that the cast is made up of really unlikable characters, and I think that was on purpose. So it's kind of hard for me to care what happens to them specifically. So that side of the fictional characters is not really up to speed. Like many great shots of the war, and you can really see tragedy of war. But at least it's all well performed, so kind of works in the end. And I think we can also give it a master because what it does well, it does really well. Yeah, maybe like this. I think that's fine. It's really fun to compare albums versus films like this. One of the major reasons why I wanted to do it. So I think that works well enough here. On a much less serious note, we have Police Academy 3 back in training. It was released in the United States and March 21st actually. I don't know how it ended up here, but yeah, that happens sometimes. Now, if you don't know the original films, don't enjoy the original cast, it's really not a lot for you here. You're pretty much just watching the original cast with some new additions in, with their new situations, new shenanigans. Not all that much here there, but I still really enjoy these films. They're kind of my childhood. And the boat chases has some cool shots at least. But yeah, unless you enjoyed the previous ones, not a lot to be found here. But I guess we can at least give it the expert because it is a really fun watch if you turn off your brain for the most part. So yeah, expert, and yeah, I'll put it ahead of everything else, I believe. So that's good here. I realized I didn't include the next one for some reason. Well, yeah, it is Hannah and Her Sisters, released in the United States February the 7th. Another early one. But it's a Woody Allen film, so he's kind of the central character, and the only character I really liked. Luckily, he's kind of the central figure in the end and carries me through the whole film. I really had trouble when he wasn't in the scene. But other than that, yeah, his character is fascinating and worth remembering for sure. And when it all blends together and it all connects to him in the end, all works out, and it's kind of a fun watch. Really fun to see his existential crisis, kind of always relatable. I feel, even though I don't share any of his anxieties, it's still really fun to see, as opposed to all the other characters, which I don't think I'll remember much. But yeah, just for that, I think we can do it master for Hannah and Her Sisters. Lovely Woody Allen performance, and I think we can do at least that. I believe so. That should be a good spot for it. It's kind of the middle master territory. And to finish off the films, we have the Hitcher, released in United States February 21st. I'm a bit of a coward when it comes to thrillers like this. A lot of horror elements in here. The chase, I was already uncomfortable in the initial scenes when he was threatening him with the knife. But yeah, the menace character played by Hauer, however that's pronounced, is really effective, and it's a bit too effective. He's kind of overpowered, really. The whole police of the entire country does nothing to him. Pretty much he overpowers them all the time. But yeah, kind of fun cast in general. It was really fun to run into Armin Shimmerman in the end. But yeah, a lot of details, a lot of cool shots, a lot of subtleties. Many questions remain unanswered, very open in a lot of things. So pretty cool, if really uncomfortable for me. I don't think I can give it too much here in terms of ranking, but it's really hard to rank something that is compelling if uncomfortable to watch. Yeah, I think we can do master at least. the very least. Probably better than that, probably better than that. Somewhere around. Yeah, let's do it like that. I think that's a nice way to put it. But yeah, those were all the films, and as you can see, it's kind of good. Most of them ended up in the master, and only one below. So yeah, pretty good performance from the films. Really enjoyed all of them. Yeah, all of them. Didn't really take a lot of effort to watch, as it kind of tends to be with me often. So yeah, good films this month. Let's see what's next. We get to our sole video game this month. First one at all, The Legend of Zelda, released in Japan, February 21st. I don't know, it's controversial to say, but the worst Zelda? Yeah, probably. Not a bad game at all, of course, but the others are better, I'd say. It's a bit easy to get lost and wander around aimlessly in it. A lot of trial and error, kind of common in the early games. Graphics are okay, they're not good, but at least they're not bad. And they're kind of repetitive, with a lot of elements. Still manages to convey enough information to work well, and it plays well. Sound, of course, soundtrack is lovely. So I did play a bit of it, not till the end. I didn't have patience for that. So, but I know how the rest of the game works. I've watched it many times. But question is where to put it. I think top of expert is fine for me. Lovely entry to the series, not that great of a game. Not bad, of course, but just not great. And this is it. If we take another step, we'll get to our final item, the Blackadder II, our only TV show, which was released in England January 9th. Like I said, I somehow missed that it was in the last month. Such things will happen. But yeah, this is amazing. I love it. I enjoyed it before when I was younger. I enjoyed it now and I watched it again. And who knows how many times I did watch it. Yeah, probably in my memory the second best series of Blackadder, but we'll get a comparison with the later one soon. So should be a fair fight with this one. I do think the fourth is probably better in my memory, but we'll see when I get there. What this one is kind of big for is that the Blackadder character is kind of worked around a bit. He feels much more competitive, doesn't feel as goofy as he did in the first one, and you really need to give the credit to Blackadder second series, Blackadder 2, for that development, because Blackadder will kind of be like that competent character for the rest of the show. So yeah, I don't think that's mentioned a lot when comparing the series, and I mention it, of course, because I think that is so. But yeah, I pretty much only remember enjoying and laughing through every episode, every single one, all 7, yeah, 6, no, I think 6 episodes, 3 in January, 3 in February. But yeah, a lot of classical lines like, you have a woman's wrecking, whatever the character says, the captain. I completely forgot some things, and it instantly refreshed in my memory as soon as it happened on the screen. But yeah, absolute classic. And now the question is where to put it. I think top for sure, but do we have a case for something more? Maybe not for now. Maybe we can leave that to the future. And if I find something less that is top, kind of difficult for me at the moment, as you can see. I am pretty much master limited. But yeah, I think top works for now. Let's leave it at the top. I really love it. So top is fine. It's certainly better than Grandmaster. Certainly better than these two items. But yeah, possible demigod, top for now. But yeah, that's the whole February done. I really like how it keeps getting bigger because I'm doing this in 2 sittings for the first time. So video length is fine by me, as long as it needs to be. But yeah, again, overall a good month for what I consumed. Bit weak on the albums, weaker at least. And yeah, I didn't include the Dragon Ball episode yet because it's just one episode, just wouldn't be fair. But I'll do it in the next month when I have more episodes. I think I have four more at least. So I'll bring that in the next month if you're wondering where it is. Don't really want to judge things on only one episode. At least 3. That's the 3 episode rule, of course. Though it was lovely, in the old anime style. With all the good parts of the old anime style for now. We'll probably see some bad old anime stuff eventually. Too many misses with the albums. Really hit it off with the films this time. The show is, of course, amazing. So yeah, really took my time with everything. Still took roughly a week, even though I didn't really have all that much free time this time. I think I can take a bit more. And now that we have gotten into groove, to say, I think I'll make a lot more notes as I consume these items, so I can give you a bit more details, a bit more opinions, because I kind of forgot some things by the time I do these videos, recaps, and even when I write the list on the rateyourmusic.com. So yeah, I think I'll expand it a bit more next time, because we've kind of reached the peak of this format. So yeah, more details, more talking, longer videos, longer lists. I always had a goal to do that, so yeah, that's how we'll continue. But more about that in the next video. I should do it in the next days, 1 or 2 days probably. Still not completely free this week. Should have more time next week to do more things actually. But yeah, that's it for the February. Moving on to March. I'll see you in the March selection video. Bye bye.